Oh hey guys, today the topic I want to talk about to you is texting. Now not just texting in general, but how to be a good texter, aka proper texting etiquette. Let's face it, we've all encountered people that maybe, aren't such a great texter. Now what better way to start than how to start a conversation? You ever texted one of those people that like, when they start the conversation it'll be like, hi, or like, hey, sup, yo. Doesn't really make you feel like they want to talk to you, does it? If someone's gonna be like that thrilled about talking to you in the first place, why even start a conversation, honestly? Or do you ever get mad because like you always feel like you're the one that always texts a certain somebody first? Maybe it's someone you like, or maybe it's just one of your friends who you really want to talk to all the time, and then you're like, why is it that they never start a conversation with me? Because I want to talk to them too, but it doesn't exactly make me feel like they want to talk to me when like they're not texting me first. I think that if you want to talk to somebody, you shouldn't have that feeling about texting them first. Because if you want to talk to them, obviously you want to talk to them. And if they're texting you back, chances are they probably want to talk to you too. Even though it may suck sometimes having to always feel like you're starting the conversation with somebody, I really don't truly think, like, unless it's someone you really like and you're like, oh, they never like texting me, blah, 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 blah. I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Keeping a conversation going. You ever had like the classic conversation without anything being said, like, hey, hi, what's up? Not much. Cool. Yep. What you up to? Not much. LOL. Smiley face. Backwards smiley face thingy that's not a normal smiley face, but it's still a smiley face, but yeah, that thing. And then like, basically just you're talking back and forth without saying anything at all. It's really not that hard to come up with something to say that actually has something to do with, actually saying something. Maybe you come up with some questions you can ask, like, how was your day? What did you do today? How are you doing? How did you sleep last night? What's a good movie? I'm looking for some new music. What do you suggest? Things like that. It's really not that hard to come up with things to say. Now, if you can actually keep a conversation going, I think there's a couple things that you should do to keep the conversation going. Such as, like, someone talks to you, and, like, all you say is, like, smiley face. Like, what does that mean? Like, I'm happy about what you said to me, but I can't think of anything else to say to that reply. Or, like, I don't have anything better to say than nothing at all, which is just putting a smiley face. Usually, I just don't text those people back. Another thing that's annoying is, like, when people just put K. Like, oh hey, I'm having a really good day today. Okay. It's like, no need to make me feel like you really care what I'm talking about anyway, right? I think like the number one thing that annoys me when like when bad texters are texting me or talking to me or whatever is like, well I guess technically they'd have to be texting me. You can't really be like, hi, smiley face. That'd just be weird. But I think the number one thing that annoys me about like people like texting me is when they put nothing but that one face that just doesn't really mean anything except for something's kind of funny, but then like you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even say something that was funny. Like I sent somebody like I'm sorry or something like that, or like like a page like apology, or I don't even remember what it was for, and like all they sent back was that face, and I was like, the fuck, like that face doesn't really mean anything to begin with. Like it's hard to explain what face it is without going like. And I mean, it's kind of fun because you go, then people know what you're talking about. But until then, it's like, that face doesn't really mean anything to begin with. So it's like, if they put a smiley face, like, I'm happy with what you're saying. If they put a frowny face, it's like, oh, I'm sad with what you were saying. But like, when you put that face, it's like, what does that even mean? Like, seriously, could you like explain that to me or something? But that's probably the number one thing that annoys me about bad texters. Going back to what I said earlier, it's really not that hard to keep a conversation going with somebody, assuming that you want to talk to them and they want to talk to you. It's really not that hard. There are certain questions you can ask or things you can say, play a game or something if you just don't really have anything to talk about, but you still want to be communicating with that person. Let's see, we've covered starting a conversation, keeping a conversation going, what to do, what not to do. So I guess that leaves ending a conversation. I think that like the whole, if I text you last, you have to text me, or if I said good night, you have to text me in the morning and say good morning to me. I don't think, you shouldn't really let that stuff bother you too much. I mean, like, sure, it'd be nice if like you said good night to someone and they fell asleep, if they said good morning to you or whatever, but like I said, if you really want to talk to somebody, don't worry about it. Just talk to that person, just text them. let them know you want to talk to them. You know, it's like, it's not so much like who texted who first. It's more of like, I'm thinking about you, I want to talk to you kind of thing, you know? Now, I'm not saying if you've done any of the things that we've talked about that you're a bad texter, or like, you know, if you do what I say, you're a good texter. No, it's just a general idea that, you know, keeping a conversation going, conversation, I just made up a word. Keeping a conversation going isn't really all that difficult if you try, but some people, I guess, just struggle with trying to keep the conversation going. You ever get those texts from numbers that you don't know, and they're like, hi, and you're like, hey, who's this? They're like, who's this? But you're like, who's this? And they're like, who's this? And you're like, who's this? And they're like, who's this? And you're like, who's this? And they're like, who's this? I was asking people, I think I texted like 10 people about things that annoy them about texting so I could talk about it. One of the things that I was supposed to talk about was random dick pics. I don't really have that problem. I guess to people that are getting random dick pics, ignore the random dick pic, or whoever sent. I guess you wouldn't know who sent it to you if it was a random dick pic. But like, yeah, sorry. Dick pics. Or you ever talk to those people that capitalize the first word of every single thing they say, and it's really annoying? Do you know what I mean? Just don't do that. It's annoying. Come on, it's not middle school. I know maybe sometimes you feel like you're, you know, in middle school, but I'm sorry. It's not middle school. Oh, maybe you are in middle school and you do that. Then maybe you could just like not do that anymore, and then, you know, you wouldn't have that problem. You just, nope, it'd be gone. Well, I think that was it. If I think of anything else that I want to say or can say, or something that should be said, I will put it in this video. But I think that's everything that is on my mind right now as I'm making this video. So hopefully this video wasn't a waste of your time. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I realize this video wasn't maybe like quite as funny as my other videos, if you think they're even funny in the first place. I'm sorry if you don't. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button, you know, if you want to see more of my face. If you don't, then you can just, you know, say no. Also, there will be links in the description. You should definitely follow me on Twitter and like the ZakTrappTV Facebook page. And I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys when I upload my next video. It's kind of fun because you go, then people know what you're talking about.